Okay, hello everyone. It's Maje Marie, and this is my first time ever going live, and it's kind of cool. Even though there's nobody here, I know that this is a lot different than doing a video, like sitting down and like filming and then editing and blah blah blah, because I don't think you can edit these. If you can, somebody please put it in the comments and like let me know. But like that, Aurora jumping up on the desk, I can't edit that out. So sorry. You guys are probably gonna see like cat butt all the time because they like to show their butts to like literally any camera that I'm on. So like even if I'm on my work laptop and I'm in a meeting, like my cats will definitely show their behind. There is no teaching cats respect, so I'm just not even gonna try to. But I just wanted to make this video because I want to do like a rundown of like a day in my life with my job, because I feel like so many people in like the luxury space or even in a lot of times the lifestyle space don't show you or even really tell you about like what they do to fund their lifestyles. And so I just want to do that. So I am a consultant. What does that mean? It really depends on who you ask, which is something that you'll hear a lot from consultants, like the phrase, it depends, because there is no like set in stone within consulting. So I have a bachelor's in business administration, and I also have an MBA, and I did internships in federal audit and finance. And so my background for the most part is like very financial and technical in the sense of like, like things to do with finance, but not a lot of full-on tech skills. I did do a bit of Java. I created an app once upon a time, like those types of things, but I am by no means a programmer. And so I do things that are typically like maybe a financial system. I'll learn a new system and then I'll have to teach it to my client, or maybe I will create like dashboards for them on something, or review their finances, not in like a nitty gritty type of way. I'm not over here like, doing somebody's cash flow statement, like reviewing their cash flow statements. I'm not doing that. I have done like a working capital fund and a spend plan and stuff like that, but that's the thing within consulting, is that it is very much all over the place, and you can decide what you want to specialize in. But it's kind of just the nature of our work that we're a jack of all trades, but we're just really good at a lot of things. So in order to get into consulting, you typically have to go to like a good school, and like to get into the really good consulting companies. I think that there are lots of like, boutique consulting firms, or just ones that aren't nearly as prestigious, that you could probably get into with maybe some work experience even without a degree, or with a degree from like a school that the others don't really recruit from. But if you want to get into the like higher paying prestigious consulting firms, you typically have to go to a school that they look at, because they do recruit a lot of college grads. I think that their biggest, and don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that their biggest hiring influx is college students, like after, because you get recruited at like basically an analyst level, and it's called different things across the different companies. Some call it associate, whatever, but you get recruited out of college at an analyst level, and then you kind of go up from there. And I'm pretty sure the bulk of people that get recruited are at that level, and getting in past there is also really hard, but it's hard in a different way, because at least when you're in college, you're competing against other college students, and so you're competing against people with the same amount of years of experience who had very similar opportunities, versus when you're trying to get in at like a manager level or above, you're competing against people who have experience in that specific niche and have a contact there, and maybe have like 11 years of experience. Even if their experience isn't as good as yours, they may have 11 years of experience versus your 8 years of experience. So you're like competing for the same job, even though they kind of have the upper hand just based off of like being born first. So getting in at an analyst level is kind of your best bet. So that's kind of like the first thing, is to like do really well in school. I know when I applied to my company, I had a 4.0. And I was also a founder of like several clubs. I did lots of community service. I, did sports, not necessarily professionally or, in college, but like I did play. I was athletic. I had hobbies. I had traveled the world. I grew up in foster care. Like I had a story to tell holistically so that they could see that I was not just a high achiever, but an overachiever. And that I would survive here because most people don't. And even like within consulting, a lot of people like leave after their first year. And I am past 2 years now. So clearly they made a good choice on me. So that's, what I do and how you get into what I do. And I wanted to get into like what I did today and just kind of like run you through my day. It's currently 5:48 p.m. and I am not done with my day, but I did want to just take this little break to do this and then go work out. Because I told myself I was going to work out and I didn't yet. So I started off my day. I'm not sure what time we're technically supposed to start working. I don't know if we have a specific time. I know some people log in at 8, some people log in at 8:30, and some people not log in at 9. I'm a 9 o'clocker. Okay. I'll even give you till 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, but like I'm probably not getting up before 9. And so I logged in at about 9. I got my first like message from someone on my team at 9:30. And the thing within consulting is that you can be on different projects. So your project is just what type of work you're doing. And so you'll have, your leadership that's on that project, and then you can have a completely different one on a completely different account, or maybe on the same account, and have completely different leadership there. So I am on 2 projects right now because this one is really light and this one is kind of like a full-time project. And so they're on the same account, so I have the same client, but they're under different parts of my account. And so I'm doing completely different work. Like my managers don't talk to each other, my senior consultants don't talk to each other, my client doesn't talk to each other. Even though it's the same client, they're under different parts of the client. So like nobody really interacts and nobody knows what I'm doing across each. And so I got my first ping from like my senior consultant on this project this morning at like 9:30, and he was asking me for an update on some work that I just was not ready to show him. And I kind of felt like bad about not being ready to show it to him because it should have been in a better position than where it was. So that definitely gave me a little bit of anxiety. But that also made me start thinking about my life. And I feel like people don't give you the real about this. When you're working and you have like a stream of income, it can be anxiety inducing to only have one stream of income. And so it starts making you think about like the things that you're buying, and maybe you should buy less, especially when you're the type of person I am where like you do like luxury things. I do have a high income, but it's just a high income. Like it's not like I have $1 billion in my bank account. So sometimes whenever I feel like I'm not doing the best at work, even though I am, like my ratings are great, like I'm a high performer, it starts making me think through the things that I've bought, and I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have bought that, because what if I get fired? Now I need money in my bank account, even though I do have money in my bank account, like now I need more. And so like, I definitely think that that's something that more people should talk about, is maybe like their financial insecurity while living their luxurious life, because it's really easy to say like, oh, just get a high paying job and like, you'll be fine. But like, no, nothing's ever secure. Your business is not secure. Your job is not secure. Nothing's secure. So I did want to like tell you guys that part as well. And then it also makes me think about my retirement plan, because personally, I don't want to work the rest of my life. Even within consulting or like within banking or all these really high jobs, like I think you could include tech in this. There are so many people who hit like their partner level or that exec level, and I'm like, why are you still working? Like, you make millions of dollars a year. You can't spend all that money. And I'm not the type of person to tell people what to do with their money. So I'm never going to be like, oh, you need to pay 100% tax on that income because you don't need all that money. No, I just don't understand why you're still working to even make all that money when you could have like retired long ago, first of all. But even if not long ago, you could retire this year with, you know, the fact that you just made $15 million this year. Like, why are you doing that? And so like, I'm just not that type of person. I don't want to work the rest of my life. And so anytime I do get anxiety at work or I make a big purchase, it makes me think about my retirement plan. And I'm like, dang, should that have gone into my retirement? Like, I don't know. But these are all just little thoughts that I had throughout the day while I was working. And then I plan to go to the gym. During my lunch break, I was going to go from like 12 to 1, and I did not. I instead decided that I was going to watch YouTube videos, and so now I'm reaping the consequences of my procrastination, so dang. And then after that, I spent the rest of the day trying to figure out some SQL, just to find out at 5:15, and I'm so sorry that you hear like all of these emergency vehicles. I have floor to ceiling windows. I live in a high-rise condo in the middle of Atlanta. Like, you're gonna hear it. I hear this all day long. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I spent the rest of my day, literally from like pretty much the majority of my day, trying to figure out some SQL, just to find out at 5:15 that I don't even need to use SQL. I can actually download everything I need into like an Excel table and upload it that way. But I wasn't shown how to download it as an Excel. I was shown how to download it as a SQL. And so, wow, somebody must really be like on their deathbed, because why is there another emergency vehicle? This is the type of stuff that I would usually edit out. Okay, here we go. But yeah, I was shown how to download it as as a SQL, not as an Excel, or maybe I wasn't paying attention and I accidentally thought that I was shown how to download it as a SQL. And so I spent a good bit of my day trying to figure out how to connect that into my dashboard, just to find out that I didn't need to. So now it is 5:54. I am going to finish my tea and go work out and try to convince myself not to eat candy or chips as I go in and create this dashboard that I need to show to my team tomorrow, that is in no position to be shown. So that's what my life is like. That's what my 9 to 5 is like. I feel like some people just have meetings all day. Some people never have any meetings at all. I'm very much a no meetings type of person. If I don't need to have a meeting, then please don't. I would much rather just get my work done on my own time frame and present it to you later on. But that's how I fund my lifestyle. I mean, it's kind of become dull now. Like, not that my work isn't interesting, but I feel like I had to hustle so much for my whole life that being able to sit down at a 9 to 5 and make all this money is like dull. Not that I don't really appreciate it. It's just like, for some people, this is a struggle. For me, it's like, this is cake. Do you know what I've been through? But I wanted to show you guys like the real of just kind of what I do and what my day looks like when I'm not over here showing you a new Bottega bag or showing you my new Tiffany jewelry or giving away something. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions on how to get into this boring 9 to 5, because having a boring 9 to 5 is fantastic. Don't let anybody like lie to you and tell you that having a steady check is bad. Like, what? No, I will take my little boring wake up at the same time, log off at the same time job, with knowing that I'm gonna have several $1,000s coming in every other week, then maybe get $10,000 once and never get it again. No thanks. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. Adios. Mwah. Bye. And now watch as I try to figure out how to turn this off. Ooh.